Hey spooky friends! So today I thought I'd do something a little bit different. It's something I've talked about doing for a while, and I'm really glad that everyone came through with such great stories. That being said, I would like to share a few stories from the community of things that happen to people and then give my take on it. And if you guys really like this, please let me know in the comment section down below, because these stories are really interesting, and I'm so glad that you guys are sharing with me. So the first story is Ayden, and I'll let him tell in his own words.
I originally are from Washington, the kind of the Yakima area. I grew up on a farm, all orchards. Farm has been passed down kind of through the family a little bit, and I found like old writing in like some of the cement and stuff like that, as like dates and all. And I can't remember the dates, but they're kind of old there. So me and my sister, we lived in the attic because that was where our room was. We were having issues. It was slowly like escalating to like feeling uncomfortable going to sleep at night, to where it got to one night we were freaking out, and we both were sleeping under our own covers in our own beds, and we were trying to talk to each other to keep each other like mentally calm and sane. And all you felt on both beds, because I even was asking if she was feeling the same thing too, was someone's hand grazing from the foot of my bed, like lightly across the comforters all the way up to like if someone was going to grab it and rip it off. And I was freaking out and she was freaking out, but we kept talking till we both fell asleep. The next morning when we woke up, I kid you not, our closet doors are on hinges. They were ripped off. Lincoln City, we have a lake called Devil's Lake. There's a story, I can't remember it fully, but there's supposed to be something going around the lake and stuff like that. Something not good. There are moments because there's a cemetery around the lake too in one area. I was driving on the outside road trying to just skip the whole beginning part of town and go on and be able to just dart on the other side of town or in the middle of town. There were gray mists and numerous times in the road driving. Like it would just automatically just pop up in random spots in the middle of the road, like if it was standing on the yellow lines. It never fully showed itself, but it was definitely something you knew it was there. And I think it was the spirits from the resting places. I don't think it was what people have said to be going around the lake, but I think it was them from the cemetery there, because it was a little bit more closer to that area, not beside it right away, but it was like I was driving towards it and I started seeing more and more of these little apparitions in a way happening. So in the area where I was raised, we're right off near the reservation and stuff, the Yakima reservation over there. And total another different story. I was driving down the highway and I had gotten really sick. Like I was so sick to my stomach, I had to pull over and I had to throw up. Well, not really thinking about the area where I was at, up on the hill above it, after I had drove away and felt better, I realized that was an Indian burial ground up above the hill up there.
Yeah.
And I felt horrible and stuff like that because, I don't like disrespecting, especially when it comes to culture and everything like that. I kid you not, when I was driving away for about a week straight, I saw a silhouette of someone with a headdress on sitting in the back of my car. And I could see it in my rearview mirror and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay. So I went back to the same spot and I apologized. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I did at the moment, I was smoking at the time, like cigars and stuff like that. So I left a cigar and I was like, please think of this as my peace offering. And ever since then, I never had them in my car again and stuff like that. And I don't know, that one blew me away because I thought that was really powerful. But even then, you listen to some of the elders in there of their native stories and their experiences that they've had. It's literally some mind-blowing one.
So something I find really interesting about what happens with Ayden is that he seems to attract spirits around him. Now, I've gotten to know him. He's been a spooky friend for a long time. And I think that a lot of the things that have happened in his life on a personal level have opened him up spiritually to be able to speak to others. So I think that the spirits see him and they want to come forward and talk. Definitely with the Native American man in his backseat, that was really interesting. Ayden, I know you are definitely connected to the other side. We've talked many times and I totally think that that's the truth. The next story comes from Scott DeCastro and I'm going to read it. He said, "Hi Catherine, this isn't too crazy, but it happened just a few weeks ago. I live in Washington State, sort of out in the country. The road I take to work every day, I have taken for many years, has 2 gas stations about a mile apart. Another mile from the second gas station is an auto repair shop. I was driving to work at about 5 a.m. when I came across the first gas station and I looked at my gas gauge and thought, I'm pretty low. I'll stop at the next station. When I looked up from the dashboard, I was instantly very confused. The road was not right. I should have been going uphill around a curve, but the road was flat and straight. The lights from the few houses along the way were not there. I drove on, not knowing where I was, for about a minute before I saw a park that I recognized. I then realized I was about 4 miles away from the first gas station. The section of road goes up a hill, curving at the top where the second station is, through a stoplight, down the hill with another long, gentle curve before it flattens out past the repair shop. If I had fallen asleep or blacked out, I would not have gotten to this point without running off the road. It was normal, kind of foggy. I felt off the rest of the day. I've had other spooky things happen, but never like this. Any thoughts or ideas? Thanks, Scott." Scott, I think maybe what happened, now there's 2 things. If you want to look at the paranormal side, you definitely could have gone through what people refer to as a glitch in the matrix or a temporal anomaly, where you went back in time and then forward in time. That could have been the case. I'm not an expert in being able to explain that, but I think that it is very much possible that that could have happened. Another thing too is that maybe you had driven this road so many times that your brain remembered it so well, it started to fill in the blanks for you. And then when you kind of cognitively, the subconscious knows where you're going, but the conscious kind of fades back and lets the subconscious take over. And I think that's what happened with you, is that you let the subconscious take over and then suddenly the conscious jumped forward. But you said that other spooky things have happened to you too. So it's hard to say exactly what happened to you, but that's really creepy and thank you for sharing. So those were some scary stories from the community. I'd love to hear if you have any more. I have some of my own, and if you'd like to learn about those, I'd love to share. In fact, I do have one to share. This recently happened to me. So I've had a lot of paranormal activity. Ever since the investigation, it's gotten a little bit worse, but I'm okay with that. I'm always surrounded by spirits, so I wasn't really scared. I was blow drying my hair in the bathroom today, and like the hairdryer is a very consistent noise. And you can't hear the neighbors when you're in the bathroom, but I was blow drying my hair and all of a sudden I heard someone in my ear in a man's voice, very angry, say, "Leave me alone." And that really frightened me because I'd never heard something so loud outside of an investigation. I'd love to know your thoughts on what you think this was, but I think it's just a spirit that doesn't like the idea of me constantly cleansing my home. And that's all I have to say about that. But I'd love to know your thoughts. Please put them in the comment section down below. And I think that's all for today. Please let me know if you do have any more stories I'd love to share. Please be sure to like this video if you liked it, and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I'm looking forward to putting out extra videos this week, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Oh, you guys are spooky.